Ready, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And the first order of business would be to approve the agenda. So hopefully you all have had a chance.
Hold the phone. We got to do, it's not on here, but we got to do roll call. And don't forget, everyone, you must say your name, city, county, and state of where you are attending the meeting from, please.
Would you like, do you have to do that, Susie?
You always do such a fabulous job, but
I can go through it. All right, so Susie, could you please state your name and location?
Susie Steck, Lathrup Village, Michigan, Oakland County.
Oakland County, awesome. Dan Sugg, I am sitting in wonderful Lathrup Village in Oakland County. Mark
Watts, Lathrup Village, Oakland County.
Wonderful. Mayor Garrett.
Lathrup Village, Michigan, Oakland County.
Awesome. Let's see, Bobby Levens.
You are muted, Bobby.
You're on mute.
Can you hear me now? Sorry. Attending from Lathrup Village, Oakland County, Michigan.
Wonderful. Corey.
Corey Dahl, Lathrup Village, Oakland County.
Pam Schermeyer.
Pam Schermeyer, Lathrup Village, Oakland County, Michigan.
Dr. Cheryl.
Carol Mitchell-Terrio, present, attending from Lathrup Village, Michigan, Oakland County.
Wonderful. Brian Ford.
Brian Ford, Wixom, Michigan, Oakland County.
Mr. Prime.
Beaufort County, South Carolina.
Oh,
Very nice. And then we should get a motion to excuse Shyla.
Right. Please get a motion to excuse Shyla for her absence.
So moved.
Pam, and second.
Second, Kelly.
I'll second that for you if you need that, Dan.
Okay.
Can you
And do I
hear
need
me?
an audible vote on that too? All right. So all for approving the absence for Shyla. I'll start with Mark.
Aye. Yes.
Mayor Garrett.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Cheryl.
Yes,
Bobby.
Aye.
Corey. Oh, Corey doesn't get to vote. Pam. Sorry.
Corey, it's a vote.
Brian Ford.
Yes.
And Fred Frog.
Yes.
All right, I'm just gonna tell everybody I'm coming back from vacation, so I'm a little all over the map right now. So still trying to get it together. All right, so now if I could move on to the first order of business, which would be approval of the agenda that was attached.
With, before we approve the agenda, we need to add a motion.
Cheryl's got it.
I would like to move the agenda, adding an item under other new business for the DDA logo consideration.
I'll make a motion.
Second, right? Second.
Great.
Second.
All in favor, Mark,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes,
Bobby,
Aye.
Pam,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Fred.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so we'll add that to the agenda. Any other changes, additions, or corrections to the agenda? If not, could I please have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Fred, second.
Second.
Pam. All in favor, Mark?
Yes.
Mayor Garrett? Mayor Garrett?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm trying
That's
to.
it.
Sorry.
Somebody take her coffee from her. She's over here.
I'm off
Cheryl-
today. So sorry.
yes,
Cheryl, I believe you said yes.
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Pam,
yes,
Brian,
Yes.
and Fred.
Yes.
I believe all motions require a roll call vote. That is correct.
Yeah.
right? Because of the nature we're in, Brian, I think they have to audibly hear it too, so. Okay. All right, so on to, with the approval of the agenda, on to the approval of the minutes from April 16th Board of Directors meeting. I think I did have one question. Let me see. Let me just see. It was a long meeting. I don't know who did this, but no, it wasn't on these. I'm good. Any other questions around the minutes from April 16th?
I move that we accept the minutes.
I'll second that, Dan.
And Bobby, a second. And I'll start with Brian this time. Brian, all in favor?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes. Yes.
Pam?
Yes,
Cheryl?
yes,
Bobby?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
And Mayor Garrett.
Yes.
Awesome, perfect. All right, so financials were attached. Certainly, were there for us to review, and as mentioned earlier, with Pam being excused today, we won't have a lot of detailed inquiries being able to be answered, but I think items of note, you'll see that most of the restaurant stuff was paid out already. I see a few of those checks that were on here, right, Susie?
Yeah, and I know we were hoping to have our final revenue numbers for this meeting. And I know Corey and Pam had some conversations earlier this week, but and Pam had comments she was going to share with us, but life happens. So we still don't have those numbers reflected in our revenue. Those restaurant relief grants were all paid out. That was the bulk of that activity in the Main Street program fund.
Yep.
And then one other thing related to that is it doesn't seem that we have gotten our first, and we should have gotten our second disbursement from the county for those restaurant relief funds, and those don't appear to be reflected in our revenues either. So while we appear to be out of whack, I think we are actually in a pretty good spot.
I see we got, it looks like we got our TIF allocation, is that right?
We got some of it. I think that was back in March though, actually. So,
Oh, it was, okay.
yeah. So I mean, we're still waiting on the balance. I mean, Pam usually gets those reconciled from the county around this time each year. So, things just didn't line up for us this month. That's all.
You see, those are flowers on there, $1,800 for the English gardens.
Yes. We bought 360 flowers for our hanging baskets.
Wow, great.
And we're gonna go out and get some more for our planters today. So you'll see another charge next month.
I saw it on your social media too, a big room of flowers or wherever that was, so kind of cool. Yeah.
Yep, they're on Southfield now, so keep some parts of Southfield, they're coming. They're in the progress.
Awesome. All right, any other questions around financials as presented? All right, with that, I need a motion to accept.
I'll second.
Did you get that, Susie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Roll call vote, Mark, all in favor?
Yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Cheryl,
yes,
Bobby,
Yes.
Pam,
yes,
Brian,
Yes.
and Fred.
Yes.
Awesome.
Who was that motion by? Sorry.
Who had the motion? I heard Brian second it. Who had the motion?
I'll make the motion. I don't know that.
Fred
Yeah.
Okay.
Fred made the motion. So from Beaufort County, South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, Fred Pryor. Okay. Moving on, so committee reports. I can't wait to hear from the Beautification Task Force.
All right, I will take that. So our beautification task force launched last month and they've been going strong, already out and doing stuff. Sorry, I need to pull up my own minutes. I'm also taking minutes on our live new system. So if I have questions, I may be interrupting. It's my first time with, but anyways, back to the task force. So they're gonna host our 11 Lathrup cleanup. That was under promotions before, but we gave that over to the beautification task force. So they really take care of, you know, our downtown corridor, keeping it clean and looking nice. So again, that's June 12th from 9 to 11, and we're gonna meet at City Hall. So hopefully some of you guys can come join us. We're gonna break up into each quadrant. So we have it out on our Facebook page as an event, so feel free to share that. And we have all the fun vests and grabbers. So hopefully you can get out there with us. So they're doing that one. And then we also have our hanging flower baskets, like we mentioned. Susie and I have been planting them, and they're starting to go up and around Southfield. And then tomorrow, I'll be out there with the beautification task force finishing up planting them. We'll be behind City Hall and we will be planting from 10 to 1, and then we're gonna have some pizza after. So if you're free, feel free to come join us. And we'll be out there. It's gonna be hot, so make sure to bring a hat and some sunscreen. And if you're joining us too, bring gloves and a garden shovel too. That will be really helpful if you have one. So we're planting them. And
If in your notes there, Corey, it does say June 22nd on the minutes.
oh
So
man,
you want to change that to May 22nd.
Corey, do you literally mean a shovel or a trowel?
Trowel.
yeah. But I mean, I guess we could use a big one, but I don't know how would that go. But if you have any of that stuff, feel free to bring your gloves and everything. So that is May 22nd, not June. And then we'll be out there, and DPW's been hanging them for us. And I think we've mentioned that we have 2 kids that are working part-time this summer, and they're going to be watering, taking care of those and doing some other things for us like that. And then we also discussed doing these plywood murals. So we were looking for something late summer, early fall, and just a way to get people out and making it known they're out and around downtown. So we were talking about doing these temporary plywood murals. We're going to recruit artists for them at the art fair that's on June 19th. So we'll get 3 or 4 of them, and these artists can take them for a month or so. And then we're hoping to get them temporarily put up, maybe one in the park. We're going to try and work with some property owners to see if we can get them maybe on the side of a building, and we'll have them up for August, September, October kind of time frame. And we'll tie that into, which I'll talk in a minute about, the 25 Ways to Love Lathrup Village, which will be a way to honor the Community Foundation's anniversary. So it's really in the beginnings that we've talked about these murals, but we just want a way so people can start posting about it. And it's one of those things that people will just go out and see and maybe take a picture with, and just gets people downtown.
But
What are we gonna do with them when we're finished?
I think Kelly, go first. What was your question? I'm sorry.
do you just have like an example of what that looks like?
I can send one. I'll pull it up. I attended a Michigan Downtown Association conference in the fall, and one downtown did that. I'll find a picture and see if I can send it, but I don't have one on me right now.
And then I think Brian wanted to know what the plan was after they were done with them.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to auction them for some type of charitable cause or something afterwards in the fall? Maybe around Oktoberfest or something like that?
That could be something we do. We don't have a plan yet with them, but we can definitely look into doing something similar or that way.
Here, for just a split second, allow me to share. This is just another DDA. This is in Ohio, so ignore the Ohio theater thing here, but this is probably somewhat larger scale than what we were necessarily proposing, but this just to give you an example of what it would be like, you know, in the action. So, and they ended up like this. So,
I just asked only because it seems like we're causing a lot of grief with some of our residents, and so I just wanted to see what they look like ahead of time and exactly know where they're going to be at, and you know.
yes,
Just wondering. Thank you.
Everybody's a critic.
yeah,
And then some.
They send them in pretty packages too.
If they don't work out, we could just store them at Brian's house, so.
And there we go.
All right, cool.
Do we have any other questions?
I love the forward thinking. Obviously, you know, I'm sure they're gonna be tastefully done and I think it'll be, and they are temporary, right? There is a
Yeah.
start and end date to it. Very good. All right. All great ideas. Any other questions for Corey on beautification? Just by show of hands, how many people are planning on being at the cleanup on June 12th?
June 20th.
Yeah.
Saturday, second Saturday.
Yep, second Saturday, so. Good, all right, well, looks like we'll have a good representation from the DDA there, so.
My show of hand was conditional though. I'm still having some issues with my parents, so that could take me out of town.
Yeah, of course. Understood. All right. Promotions.
All right, I'll take that one too. My notes for that one.
And I'll start by saying our very own Mark Watts has his mental health event on the 27th, next Thursday evening, right, Mark?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, awesome. We have our board meeting that night. It generally gets over by about 6:15 or so. I'm gonna try and
Okay.
stop by afterwards though, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Corey. Maybe steal your thunder.
Oh no, that was the first item that was on the list of our minutes anyways. So we talked about upcoming events mostly. So Mark's event is next Thursday. Please stop by, or if you're interested in helping out and volunteering, let Mark know. He's looking for some volunteers to help out that day. And it's just a municipal park. And then also previously we've talked about doing a spring bike roll for to kick off our new wayfinding, but we're going to cancel that and push it to the fall because a good portion of our bike path is getting repaved with the current infrastructure. So we're going to be postponing that to the fall, and our signs are around town. So, you know, they're, keep an eye out for them. They're in the neighborhoods. And then, let's see. Then we also talked about our concert series. The Summer in the Village concert series are starting June 23rd. And we're going to do an opportunity for a business or two to table with the DDA at the concert series. It'll be an opportunity for them to show how they give back to Lathrup, give information about their business. Not necessarily, they're not going to be selling anything, but they can have handouts, talk to the community, just a way to get the word out about their business. So we've put together a letter that's going to go out soon. I'm hoping to do, we have those quarterly business e-newsletters, and I'm hoping to get one out next week since we have so many summer events. So we'll invite businesses to table free with us and just get word out about their business. And like we said, it's not going to be a way to sell things, but just get out there. And then also we have our Juneteenth event. That's on June 19th, Municipal Park after the art fair. It is from 4 to 8, and we have a really good lineup of fun stuff coming. Our Juneteenth task force and promotions have been working hard getting stuff together. So we will have a storyteller, Larry Castleberry, at 4. And then 4:30 to 5:30, we have a hustle instructor, Steve Sturkey. He's got a big following. He'll be out there. And then we're going to recognize some diversity champions. So I can send that out. We're going to recognize residents, youth, adult, a business, and a community organization that's done work that's for inclusion, diversity, and we're going to recognize them there with a plaque and just say what they've done for the community. So there's a nomination form for that. You may have seen it in the e-newsletter, on our Facebook, and then we have some copies out in the lobby, but I'll send that all out to you guys. Feel free to nominate anyone that you think should be nominated. Our Juneteenth and Promotions Committee are going to review applications. And then we have a panel discussion from 6 to 7. We're looking for a moderator. So if anyone wants to be a moderator or knows a good moderator, we will take someone. That will have community leaders with Representative Bolden, Representative Carter, community activist Yusuf Shakur, and Judge Shella Johnson. And then we are going to end the night with Nanu Japu, which is this African drum and dance group. So a lot of fun stuff going. We're going to have voter registration, kids bounce houses, food trucks, ice cream trucks. So there's a lot going on, and it follows the art fair. So make sure you stop by. It'll be a fun night. And then we just talked about, we're going to work with Chris just to connect businesses to the back to school rally and his work in the park. We have the concert series going on in July and August. So we have some DDA presence out there. And I think that's most of it. We're looking to do an info meeting in September, but maybe amp it up and do it as a business connection, meet and greet kind of thing. Most of our info meetings have been a little on the lower side, but we're really hoping to maybe like get this one, come out and meet people. We also discussed getting ribbon cuttings back out because we're going to have some new businesses and we can start to meet in person again. So that's pretty much it. Sorry, that was a lot of information right at you, but we have a lot going on.
Mhm.
You will see item 8C is the budget for the support for what she's talked about around the Juneteenth celebration. So that committee's been, that group that's been planning, it's been pretty engaged, and Corey, you've been doing a really good job with that. It's really turned into a beautiful event. So can't wait. Excited.
Corey, what did you say about a ribbon cutting? It kind of flew by me.
Yeah, we don't have any upcoming, but we're just going to maybe start looking at having those again. We're getting some possibly new businesses in the next few months. So now that we can meet in person, it might be good to get some ribbon cuttings going again and bring some attention to them.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. And in support of that too, there was a suggestion to finish the work on a welcome package from the DDA to a hard package that would be given out with all the resources and you know, opportunities to get engaged with the city too. So great. Any other questions for Corey on promotions? And if not, we can move on to economic vitality report.
All right, I have the I think the biggest thing for economic vitality for the EV committee was the logo. We've been working with our kitty shark on developing our new logo and our rebranding activities. We had a meeting with Maggie this morning to do a kind of like her logo reveal. So I have not kind of her logo reveal, the logo reveal for her concept. So I'm gonna share my screen again so you can see what she's come up with. So we do have, so this is logo number 1 or concept number 1. She does want us to make a decision on, we have 3 concepts here that I'll show you. She does want us to make a decision by Wednesday as to which logo we would like to move forward with. And certainly if we have any specific revisions, what those might be. So they all, as you can see, we've got, you know, the vertical logo up here in the corner, the black, what it would be, you know, flipped in the reverse, and then the horizontal, or the horizontal logo there. It's a similar color palette you'll see for all of these. And I don't think, she didn't have the mood board, but we put together a pretty bright and colorful mood board with lots of different flowers to go for our, you know, our history as a garden city, our tree coverage, all of that. So this is just kind of a concept, like different ideas of how this may appear on different pieces. Not that we would necessarily have all of these, but just to kind of get an idea of where it would be laid out. Different fonts. You know, they're slightly, I don't know, I can't tell the difference between all of the different fonts, but to the trained eye, I assume you can. So this is concept number 2. Again, like you can see, different kind of similar color palette as the first. One of the things that Maggie had pointed out is that there's kind of like the hidden love in this one with the L, the Lathrup Village being kind of like the O, and then the Downtown Development Authority being sort of like the E. So, and again, the same kind of stacked out version. Cheryl, Corey, and I all kind of agreed that we like this one. I'm not sure about the
Can you
colors.
go back to the other one? I just wanted to see the comparison. Also, I'm sorry.
Hold the phone. I'll get there. There's one at the end. Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No worries. No worries. I know I had the same thought. So, so again, this one's got the raspberry in there. Again, sort of how we can see it laid out on the different pieces. There's a few more. I personally really like this C with the flowers in there. And as Maggie had kind of pointed out, that it could be sort of like a sub logo for us, if you will.
What could be a sub logo?
This number C, or letter C right here with the flowers and the L and the V.
Oh.
She said it doesn't look, you know, it's kind of, the petals in there get kind of lost the smaller you go. So this would be better for like a bigger format. And, you know, Corey made the comment that it could be, you know, good for a banner, right?
Yeah.
So, and so again, same kind of color palette. This one's a little bit different. You kind of overlap. So there's that. And then this is the third one. It is certainly the funkiest I see you, Kelly. I feel the same. My comment was that I have a hard time reading the Lathrup Village. Like I
know what-
see
yeah.
Lathrupville and Ruppage, and that's not cool. I like, although this little doodad down here in the corner where it's all stacked, I can read that one, but the rest of it, I don't, this doesn't seem like us. So,
No.
so I'll skip right through that. So here's that comparison for you, Kelly.
Yeah, that's good.
I
Are we
love
voting
it.
on this? How are we giving a recommendation for this right now?
Yeah, so we're going to choose one of the concepts to move forward. And then remember though, like if we choose one of them, she'll do revisions on that one. So if you don't like the colors of one, it's not necessarily set in stone that those are the colors. So we're just choosing a concept for her to move forward as the one we're in theory going to have as our logo, but it's not, these aren't the final. There's still rounds of revision with these, with the one we.
How do you want us to send you back feedback? I know you sent it as an email this morning, Corey. Do you want us to respond to the email? What's the easiest way for you to capture our thoughts?
So we are, hopefully if you are feeling comfortable, we're going to choose a concept today. And then if you have further feedback of that concept we choose, you can send that to me because I'm going to compile it and send it to her.
I love the second one. I think it's gorgeous.
I knew you would.
Yeah,
we
as soon
that
as
goes
we
to
saw
that LV thing that Bobby always talks about.
It's nice and clean. I love the little sub branding you can pull out of it. The garden, I think all three, she did a lot of hard work for sure.
Yep, I would agree. It's easy.
I just love the second one.
Yeah, easy call for me.
Wouldn't change anything about it.
You like the second one?
Yeah, that's an easy call for me.
Yeah, Kelly.
Totally. Yeah.
I like the second one. The first one seems duplicative because we say LV DDA and then we say Lathrup Village Downtown Development Authority, where we capture that completely in the second one without saying it twice. It's like a bad movie heading from the 60s.
Can you all hear me now?
But I'm not crazy about
Okay.
flowers so much in the second one. The graphic, it seems that's the one thing about it is the flowering. Doesn't seem like it belongs with Downtown Development Authority. That's just my opinion. It seems kind of prairie, and we're downtown.
Sure.
Kelly, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that 3 is completely not on anybody's radar. But I have 2 things. One, if you can interchange the colors for the first one, that could go for what would be interesting for us if we could interchange the colors for certain months or for certain, how we celebrate certain months. Because the first thing I thought of that was for Gay Pride when I first saw the first one. And I was like, well, maybe that'll work. I think it's June.
Yeah.
I can't remember the month, but that would work if you can do that. Otherwise, no, I would go with the second one.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying about that of changing?
Yep. Definitely have that broader color palette for those different, to represent those different things. Yep. Now I got it.
I like the second one too. I'm not crazy about that shade of yellow. It's veering more towards the chartreuse side than I would like. But other than that, my question is, yes, this was developed as a DDA logo, but it seems to me that other, aspects of the city, it could be adapted if you just change out Downtown Development Authority with something else, Planning Commission or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Good
kind
point.
of entity you want. You could do that if unless we feel proprietary about this and we want it to be only for Downtown Development Authority.
That'd be clever.
Mhm.
Planning commission, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Love it.
Corey,
Carol?
I made you the co-host, Corey.
Right. I think I should be able to do a poll somehow.
While you're
Maybe.
doing that, I just wanted to also share that I like the one in the middle. And I would like at least to explore some different color combinations, because I do like the colors in the first one. And on the bottom one, I would move that LV a little bit closer to the typed words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there seems to be an extra space in there between Lathrop and Village too.
Yeah.
So,
It's a kerning issue.
a what?
Kerning.
Kerning.
Oh, okay.
Graphic artist.
Designers love when people like us start telling them that the spacing is wrong too. They just go absolutely bonkers. But
Well, I know she pointed out one of them was like elsewhere in the slide. She was like, oh, whoops, that one got a little off. So, this is her first mock-up for all of us. So, I don't think she'll be mad about spacing for this first one.
It's sounding then like everybody's leaning towards the second one, Susie.
Okay, cool.
Mark, I was just saying, Mark, did you?
And then
wanna-
tweet. Yeah.
I'm trying to assume, but-
Pardon me?
Dan, you didn't voice your
Do
opinion.
you have a preference of the three?
Yeah, I'll go with number two. Number two is my first choice too as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, good. It sounds like we pretty much are all there.
Mhm.
I like number one too. I think it does box you in to just the DDA. And I do like the coloring. I was with Mary Garrett when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, that looks like a rainbow to me, which is kind of cool. It's colorful. And I think you could probably do the same thing with the middle one if you play around with that a little bit. So
Mhm.
If we're going to experiment
too
with,
much energy there, I think we have unanimous consent that number two is kind of what we like. So
Well, and just for the sake of color pairings, the set of colors down here under C, or even just a little bit different than these kind of original ones. So, and she pointed that out, that we've got lots of different color options. So, okay, cool.
if we're going to play around with colors, which I think is a good idea, we might want to ask her to play around with the font and or like she has the logo that we like is not in boldface, but some of the other ones are. And so she might want to give us some options there.
Okay.
If you have to, I can share then these slides with logo number two. And then if you have additional feedback, if you could just send it to me by Monday. So I'll send after this meeting an email with or all this in there. And then you can just send me your feedback so I can let her know what we're all thinking, different colors, boldface, all that.
And then we'll have since we added this at the end, actually, we'll take an official motion at the end to go with number two.
Well, should we do that now, Susie? Or no?
The motion that we made and that Cheryl made at the beginning was to add it under new business, which I think is the right place to
Oh,
add
I
it.
see.
So,
Yeah, right.
we just let our discussion, get carried away.
Susie, was that it from EV then?
Yes.
Good stuff. All right, so I think we can move on to other business. So Susie, I think you had probably both those, if you want to take that away with code enforcement.
Yep. So last month, I'm sorry, we had a kind of, we're playing around with what code enforcement report works best for us. I think the last month we had one that included everything that Rami had worked on, and I asked him to to get it a little bit more focused on just the business corridor. So there's less detail, but it is certainly more focused. You can see in his breakdown, he's got it by type, and the number of complaints or enforcement opportunities that he went out and evaluated, right? So we've got parking lots, property maintenance, weeds and grass, debris. He sent me a whole bunch of emails or a whole bunch of pictures that I can't open all of them, but sent me a bunch of pictures yesterday about alley maintenance. So if there's a different kind of detail that you would like to see for these reports, please let me know and we'll try and see how we can best refine that through our the city's BS&A system, which is where he inputs all of that. Also, Rami and I, which is, it's not included in this report, but he and I have spent quite a bit of time walking the neighborhoods and Southfield corridor, marking sidewalks for the sidewalk replacement program. So I know our residents have noticed. I haven't gotten many calls from our business owners yet asking about why are there pavement or markings on my sidewalks? And those are all to get flags that just need to be replaced. Flags, sidewalk blocks, slabs, whatever you want to call them. The civil engineering lingo is flags. So the DDA will be, we do have some of our sidewalk flags that we will be on the hook to replace, particularly south of 696. We are responsible for those sidewalk flags that cross the alley, as well as usually it's like 2 to 3 flags that lead from to the street for ADA compliance issues. So we'll have a better estimate. I know that I talked to the engineer yesterday. He's going to be working on putting all the data in and going out to bid. Oh gosh, going out to bid within the by mid-June, I think is his goal. So I'll have a better estimate of what our costs will be for that program. Hopefully for next month's meeting. And I say south of 696 because in 2024, that's when Southfield Road we're going to do interim improvements. And as part of those improvements to Southfield Road, we'll have the road commission include the ADA ramps, which would be done otherwise. So that's that for Rami's activity. Any comments on his report? Anything you'd like to see? Anything else? More detail?
Is there any more detail, or is this it?
This is all he gave us. I don't know if Corey has anything else. I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels. I mean, the cost share was really justified by, hey, we'll get a report by showing us what activities being corrected in the downtown authority area. So I would think just some sort of designation or a little bit of detail on where and what. I don't know. Okay. Would you prefer?
I mean, I know his thought, I think, was to remove what was in the DDA, but I don't know.
Would you prefer more kind of narrative, sort of like my department report to maybe accompany this, or just
issued to, findings,
more detail
at this address or this business or something in the DDA, so we can kind of see it. And I think that way, when it reflects in the minutes, it'll be, well, there's active. We're seeing a lot of improvement.
So
we can include the report that we produce for council from code enforcement, and it identifies by address and by category the types of inspections and enforcements that are applied to different locations.
Yeah, and maybe just a designation if it's in the DDA and not. Maybe the same report just with one other designation, like this is in the DDA.
It's the BSNA system, so I don't know if we can do that. The easiest way to tell is just by the street. If it's Southfield 12 mile or 11 miles, most likely a business.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right. That would be my only comment. It's just something a little more detailed.
I noticed if you look at the totals, it says 36 cases filed and 4 resolved or closed. That doesn't seem like a particularly good ratio. Are people not cooperating or?
Well, it just started in April, I think, so.
Well,
maybe-
yeah, I mean, he did just start some of these, but I mean, usually depending on the offense, right? It is, you know, he gives them, you know, maybe it could be a couple days, you know, for like grass, tall weeds, you get 48 hours, but some of these other things, like the parking lot repairs. I know one of them is about, sorry, Kelly, Cheryl, bumper blocks. And so, you know, but this individual is also, you know, they're trying to work something out with their neighbor, make improvements to their parking lot, and the bumper blocks are just one element of something that they're trying to do. So that's, you know, he's given that property owner more time to work on it and kind of work through some of those details because they're not all lining up all together, right? So I would expect this number to go up as Rami gets out there, but trust me when I say people are starting to know Rami.
Yes, and that's something I wanted to address real quick, and I don't know that it's how it's perceived so much in the district, but I'll tell you that, and I've not solicited comments from anybody about code enforcement, but they've been offered to me from our residents, and I haven't heard it being offered positively, which to one extent is a good thing, right? Because we're making people uncomfortable and causing them to change behaviors, which you have to do if you're not satisfied with how people are maintaining their property. But is there some way maybe that we could do a PSA or a reputational rebuild to show how important this is for the community, both in the district as well as in the residential section, because it's not being, from what I've observed, it's not being received well at the early stage. It's quite the opposite. And I think it's such a positive thing that we have this, and we just need to change the perception for people to welcome these efforts versus push back. So
I think you're absolutely right. And we do have an opportunity, if I'm not mistaken, Cheryl and Susie, to use Jim for PSAs. Unfortunately, it is, and this is what I'm finding, is that we have a lot of complaints about code enforcement until it's the person that's complaining has to get the code enforcement placed upon. Mm-hmm. So that's what we are running into quite a bit. But I'm right there with you, Brian, because unfortunately, I have been asked to show up at people's house to smooth things over after Rami has been there, and he's the nicest guy. It's not his fault, but you know, I agree with you. So maybe we can put something together. You can be the star of it, Brian, and do the PSA. Yep, thanks. Great job.
well, I'll say he showed up at my house when I wasn't there. Was with regards to my fire pit in the backyard, and chatted with Julie, and she was startled by the whole thing. There was no introduction of who he was. And so, you know, everyone knows how kind my wife is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is Rami, is he showing up giving people tickets, or is he suggesting that they make a change or risk getting a ticket?
So here's the funny thing. When he showed up at my house, I don't know if it was because of me, but he was like, you know, just like, you know, and I saw him talk to my neighbor across the street, and he's it's not tickets right off the bat from how I saw it, because I am the Gladys Kravitz of my street. when I saw it, he explains, and then he does a lot of follow up with it. So it's not right off the rip that he's giving tickets.
Okay.
Right, yeah, it's very
That's fair.
situationally dependent. He's, you know, certain situations will call for a ticket, but he tends to, like right off the bat, but he tends to try and
He
work
gives
with people.
suggestions. Trust
does
me,
give
he gives
suggestions.
suggestions of what you should do.
Yes. So,
Got it.
So let me offer, because I think it was last month, we did a e-newsletter that focused on code enforcement. So the question becomes, more than anything, how do you get information to people in a way in which they can consume it? Because that was posted on the website, it was posted on Facebook, and it was emailed to about 1,300 people. But we're still going to get the, I didn't know, how do I get the information? So we can try the PSA, and we were talking about that anyway, but I think as a starting point, what might make sense is to invite him to your next meeting. One, to introduce himself, and two, so that you can speak directly to what types of information you would find most helpful in terms of the work that's being performed.
So if we have the same type of audience with the DDA as we do with City Council, I'm thinking that we probably should start, which is a good idea. But why don't we start at City Council and introduce him, and we started there and kind of do City Council, maybe planning and DDA. So all the meetings that are recorded and available on YouTube are hit. You're on mute that time. Miss, I know how to do filters.
That's fine. I'll convey that to him.
Okay, thanks.
That was the kind of detail I was talking about right there, so. All right. I forgot where we were. Any code enforcement, I think we're good there. So any other questions on code enforcement, or we can move into the departmental report from Susie?
Well, we touched on a lot of the event type stuff. We had, like Corey mentioned, our spring roll is going to be postponed till the fall once we can ride on some new streets, and we get our proper Annie Lathrup Park signs up, and hopefully people will be more familiar with our signage. And we are putting together a nice trifold map that'll be available for people. We're going to try and figure out a way to do an online map that we can do for people to use in the very moment. We do have some business updates. So we do have a few months ago, we had a property just north of Sunnybrook. They're opening, it's called the Life Center. They're going to have an MRI facility there. He has a separate business elsewhere in New York that he has a juice bar. So I'm trying to convince him to do a juice bar and bring that here. Speaking of restaurant space, we are going to have in the former Happy's Pizza location, we have Ruby Lee's Honey Chicken and Shrimp. That is, they'll be opening hopefully around July 1st. The restaurant owner, Johnny, gave me a rundown of his menu, and I'm starving already just thinking about it. We also have Discount Tire and US Rehab both got site plan approval on Tuesday. Discount Tire will be expanding the parking lot and adding an interior storage space for their dead tires. So they'll be going for City Council for final special land use approval in June. US Rehab is a physical therapy place that is going to be locating in the former gin cleaner space south of 696, just north of Lincoln. So we've got some action happening there. The City Council released the comprehensive plan for the 63-day public comment period. So that's out for our surrounding communities, for public comment. There will be a public hearing on July 20th at the Planning Commission for adoption, and then again, adoption by City Council. I guess the biggest kind of thing business related is the cannabis. We will be having an open house this upcoming Wednesday, May 26th from 4 to 6 at the community room, or in the community room, I should say. This will be an opportunity for residents to come and have an in-person, face-to-face conversation with myself, the city's planners, hopefully some planning commission and council members will be able to attend as well, and just kind of get an idea of what is being proposed for recreational adult use cannabis right now. So nothing's been approved. I mean, just make sure that that's very clear. Nothing's been approved by planning commission or city council at this point, but we do have proposed language that will be acted upon in some way, shape, or form at the June 15th planning commission. So where there will be an actual public hearing, but this is sort of a bonus opportunity for public engagement. We'll leave the information up in sort of an exhibit hall format for about a week to 10 days after that open house. So individuals can come and look at the information at their leisure if they would prefer to do that. We're also having public comment cards. I'm going to take this fabulous box and rewrap it in something green to make it very clear that it's for cannabis comments. And all of these will be compiled into FAQs on the website and provided to City Council and Planning Commission as they have their discussions and make their decisions on cannabis. So so that's a biggie. Talked about the bike routes, flower baskets, infrastructure. I'm sure you have all noticed things are happening. Things are really happening out there. They're doing the second. They're doing right now. They're finishing removing the some driveways. The second lift of asphalt will go down next week, and we're making headway. So that I'd say that pretty much sums up the department report, though. Any questions?
The more, because I'm starving, is the honey chicken and shrimp place. Do they have a current location, or is that a brand new concept?
He has other restaurant locations. None of them are honey chicken and shrimp. So this will be
That's a good question. Sorry.
He's got a and I cannot remember for the life of me, and my notes are like literally on like half sheets of paper floating around my desk in my house. He's got a brunch concept place downtown that literally just opened within the last 2 weeks, and it's near Cobo. He said it's similar in feel to Jagged Fork, but you know, mostly on that brunch end of things, right? And then he's got another location in, I want to say it's in Bloomfield Township, somewhere along Telegraph. I can find out and let you know. But this will be his very first honey chicken and shrimp. It's going to be takeout. He's going to keep those same little like window seating that Happy's had. I think there was a total of maybe 8 seats, right? So he's going to have that for now. And then he's hoping that next year he'll be able to do some sort of patio space out there. So, but his menu sounds delicious. Just so.
Agreed.
Oh, wait, I know, we have another one. I talked to a guy that he wants to open a fresh fish market. So we might be getting a fresh fish market. So that's kind of exciting.
So say that again.
Fresh fish market.
No, I'm sorry, not just that. The whole, he's opening up a fresh fish
There's a guy that
market.
wants-
Where?
And right next to Kebab. In that same plaza where the Haney Soup Club used to be.
So, total my opinion alert. We were once the hair salon capital of the world. And now if you drive down Southfield Road, we are now the fried fish and chicken capital of the world. And I just get concerned about the fact that how do I say this without just totally putting my foot in my mouth? Our demographics are changing, and this is like, how do we keep it to stay where it's healthy? You know what I mean? And this is just it's my opinion. We have a fried fish place on this side of Lathrup, and now we'll have one on this side, and then we have 5
fried.
up the street.
He's not
Fresh
fried,
fish.
he's fresh.
Oh, no. That's fresh over here also, but they fry it inside. So it'll be interesting to see, just to give you an idea of what could possibly happen with that. You'll have fresh fish, but then you pick it out and they'll fry it. And I know that we have something in our ordinance that says that they can't fry, right?
Right.
Yeah, for drive-throughs. Yep, drive-throughs.
For just for drive-throughs or for any restaurant?
I think it's just for
Interesting.
drive-throughs, but I will verify that.
Okay. Again, that
I
was
think
just
that's
my
what we
opinion.
talked about when we discussed the planned unit developments about 100 years ago and drive-throughs. I think that's specific for the drive-throughs, so we don't end up with like Taco Bell and Wendy's,
Gotcha.
and Burger King, and all the rest of that. So
I answered my own question because Jagged Fork has French fries, so never mind. But still,
I know where you're going though. I understand what you're talking about. So, well,
Thank
hopefully he just keeps it on the fresh side. How's that?
good luck with that. Okay.
I'm the optimist. So that does it though for my little report.
Any other questions for Susie?
I do. So do we have any idea, or have we gotten any feedback on what's going on with Kevin's building, the what used to be the right across from City Hall, the Red Place?
Yep. So Eddie Smokes. Yeah, the old Eddie Smokes. He was waiting to see what was happening with cannabis. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I'd say the vast majority of property owners have been just sitting, twiddling their thumbs, just waiting to see. He and I have talked. He's well aware that he is not in the zone, and that that's just not going to happen. And he was like, all right, that works for me. So since the and I swear I didn't do it on purpose, everybody, that since the planning commission meeting on April 20th, they and it became like official and out there. I know he started talking to people, entertaining questions regarding leases for restaurant space. So I don't know if he's going to sell. I don't know if he's going to lease. I get the sense that he'll probably lease the property out. But he does not want a brand new, inexperienced restaurateur.
For sure.
He really wants someone with some good experience. So I think he's going to remain picky. But he and I mean, we've already talked about, he does not have a liquor license attached to that space. We've already talked about some of the requirements for that. And he seems to be interested in moving forward now that he feels comfortable knowing that cannabis is never going to happen at that location. So, but that's all.
That's interesting. I've told him that 3 times, but also what has happened with Panera also.
Panera, as far as I know, Panera is sticking to their location.
Oh, okay.
As
is, or are they still looking to do some adjustments?
As far as I know, it's as is. I just talked to representatives of the property owner, and I asked him, like, hey, what's the update? And he was like, yeah, there's not really much of an update when anything. I was like, well, then why are you calling me? So they're staying, as far as I know. I know they've had other interest in the bank site, but I don't, they're extremely picky when it comes to their tenants, and I can't be entirely upset about that. I would prefer that they are picky, and as opposed to letting in businesses that may not be well suited for our community, but we'll see. So
I have a bunch more, but I'm gonna just call you.
okay, no worries. No worries.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
All right, not hearing any other questions, we can move on to old business, alley assessment update.
Yep, this is short and sweet. I talked to our engineer. He was hoping to have that the field work has already been done for the alleyway assessment. So he should have a report to us. I was hoping he was going to be able to have it to us in advance of the meeting, but it'll end up being probably next week. And then Murphy's Law, because I was hoping for it today. We'll probably get it Monday or something, as to the final report and when we can anticipate having that alley that we took, those alley entrances that we discussed between Cambridge and Sunnybrook, when we can have those done. So I just got to touch base with him, but things are moving forward. Any particular questions on that?
All right, let's move from alleyways to new business. So I know there was a question at last month's meeting around fund balance and reserve policy. I see you've now included that in here. So Susan, do you want to cover that for us?
Yep. So City Council has adopted a similar policy, and it was recommended that we also adopt this policy. And it is a best practice by the Government Finance Officers Association that we have, that we adopt this policy. A copy is attached for your review there. And, essentially what we would ask is that we would include a $750,000 reserve specifically for the Southfield Road project, which is anticipated to be in 2024. And then that we would reserve $91,500 for our operating reserves. And this is in line with that particular policy. So what we would need from, unless, obviously entertain any questions, but all we would need from you all is a motion to adopt the fund balance and reserve policy.
The 750, did that come out of like history? I remember it being less than that. Was that the number?
That is that, let's see, the estimated, well, the estimated cost of the work depends on, you know, the kind of the one, the scope, and two, the pot of money that it's coming from. The and 750s probably on the high side, but I would tend to think of it more as like the realistic side. The last number I got from the road commission when we talked was that we would have a match of, you know, 500,000. I don't know, I'm skeptical that it would be that low. And knowing that, you know, knowing just right now, when I look at other construction projects that are happening, every single contractor, developer, whoever is like, yeah, I can't find contractors, and every single price point is just skyrocketing. I think 750 is a good number.
Okay.
So
Seems good to me. Any other questions around that? We have a motion to approve. Accept.
Right, I'll do it. I'll move to approve the fund balance and reserve policy.
Great.
Also, Dan.
And Bobby seconds. And then we'll do a all in favor vote, audible vote for the fund balance reserve policy. Mark Watts,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Brian. Mute, Brian. Brian, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you. Mayor Garrett
Yes.
and Fred Prime.
Yes.
Awesome. Motion carries. All right.
excellent.
All right, so I've read through the Cade improvement and site beautification grant application we have. Hopefully you guys did too. It is for $2,500 for aiding in the repair and improvement of the parking lot and the alleyway for Susie, is this what's the name of this business? Oh, Precision MRI of Michigan. And maybe Susie, you could give us some background. I see the pictures here. I see cones up that aren't the city's cones or whatever. Maybe you can give us some background on this and your conversation with the business owner.
So this is like the project, honestly, that like doesn't want to end. They've been in Lathrup Village since before I got here. They have had issues. They've had issues with their paving system. They have a permeable paver system out there, kind of into the right of way where, you know, the MRI truck backs up. They've had issues with getting that permeable paving system to work. Again, a lot of this was before my time, but long and short of it is they came to us. They've gone through the site plan approval process, and they would like to redo their parking lot. They have some fairly significant potholes in the alleyway and in that in the entrance drive. Those cones and the caution tape that you see in those pictures, the property owner has said so. On that last set of pictures on page 42, where it kind of looks out, you know, and gives you see that one, you can see the this fabulous picture on page 42. That dirt area is where that permeable paving system is. It's been challenging to get grass to grow. But those cones and the caution tape, the property owners had up there to prevent people from driving over that. He claims people drive through that area to avoid the potholes in the alley. And he will be resolving that when he puts his required bumper blocks in there. There it is again, bumper blocks, sorry. So he, last fall, he came to us, he had a client who claims to have sustained significant damage to the undercarriage of her car. I don't know if you remember having this conversation back in October-ish, saying that, we didn't maintain our alley, and it was, it was a magical conversation. And but it did, it brought up a valid discussion of needing to maintain our alleys, and how do we come up with this plan, which is why we have the alleyway assessment and feasibility analysis going on. So it is, in part what prompted some of our changes to the facade improvement grant to make it more site applicable to site improvements, such as paving and landscaping and whatnot. So we have here I have asked him to remove those cones and the caution tape. He is supposed to get the lot paved early June, is the schedule that he told me 2 weeks ago. So, and I have
quotes, he has 2 quotes here for 17,000 and 21,000. So clearly it's having the entire lot resurfaced.
yes. And he pulled because he pulled a permit like back in the fall, right? And that's, if you'll recall, he was asking us, and we didn't have a mechanism to do this back in the fall. He wanted us to do the whole lot, or do the whole alley. And I know Magnus is the paving company that has pulled the permit to do the work. So he is going with the lowest qualified bidder. And looking, Rami actually sent me a question yesterday regarding maintenance of those alleys, and in looking at taking a better look at the ordinance again today and kind of refreshing my brain. It's pretty clear that it is the property owner's responsibility to maintain it, particularly if they're doing, if they're using it as an access point to their business, which he is. I think that certainly the work fits within the parameters of the facade improvement and site beautification program as we've modified it. And it undoubtedly the alley needs some work. So I think I recommend that we award him that maximum amount of $2,500. I struggle with whether or not I would like you to add a condition to say like he has to keep those the cones and the caution tape out of there. But again, I know, that's, more for his private parking lot, and he's going to have bumper blocks installed as part of his work. So maybe just having it be part of the conversation is sufficient to know that we're paying attention. But I think I would recommend that we award him that $2,500 for the work. It's reimbursed, it's a reimbursable thing. So I think
if I get off the call now, do we have a quorum? I have a family emergency that's developing.
If you get off the call, we have 1, 2,
We need to vote then right quick, so he can jump.
7, 8.
We have to
No,
make
we
a
have a
motion
quorum. We have a quorum.
without him.
Yep.
Bye, Brian.
All right. Good luck, Brian.
Hi, Brian, good luck.
Care.
Yes, Kelly.
She was saying.
Oh, bye. Got it.
And
So,
the only, in reading through all this, and I don't know when the business owner wrote this, but I mean, he's clearly still thinking this is the city's responsibility and his, it says our parking lot is embarrassing and our business is suffering, not to mention city halls across the street. We've tried to be accommodating to the city, I mean, I understand, but why, if you're asking for money, why are you like, slapping with your left hand? I don't understand. So, clearly it needs to be done. We see the pictures, it needs to be fixed. And I would think any issues we have with the cones or the caution tape or the lack of bumper maps, we can just address with Rami. He seems to be pretty good with that. So I'm in favor of helping them beautify their property by maintaining their parking lot. So I don't know what everybody else thinks, but.
Yeah, I mean, we're reimbursing him for paving his parking lot, right? That's what we're doing.
he's
Well,
going to be doing some work in the alley. Yeah.
So the alley is a side, is not part of this, right? We're just giving him the money, and it seems like a pretty modest amount. It's the maximum we can award, and it is an improvement to the DDA,
Yes, it
community
is.
to have a
Right.
better parking lot. So I'm in favor of it.
And I would take out my personal feelings about this whole situation and agree about it, because this is a never-ending saga, honestly.
Yes,
With
I know.
them.
I'm trying. See, you see my smile. I'm trying.
Susie, I have a question for you.
Yes.
The Future Strategies, that's a business name I'm not familiar with for that location.
I had that same thought. I've always known it under the two names of,
I just assumed a holding company for a couple of things and maybe Precision MI that up to it.
yeah, it's been Precise MRI and Precision MRI. I always thought it was Precise, and I think he's got Power Empire Group is at least his email address. So
Yeah, I was wondering too, the future strategies, since he's the building owner, if that's maybe his like company for real estate, because the business name is Future Strategies, but then
Right.
Precise MRI.
we'll stand by. Let me see what I can find. I got this fun little thing.
Can we make that one of the requirements is that he's current with business licensing requirements? I don't know if he qualifies as a landlord licensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm in favor of that. So
Alright.
motion to approve the Cade grant for Future Strategies / Precision MRI.
I would add the address in there.
Address. Already moved out. What's the address? Do you have it?
27465 Southfield Road.
27465 Southfield Road, residing at for the application for $2,500 toward Cade or Beautification. Motion to approve.
Should that motion also have the part of updating the business license, since that we don't see the name of it?
Yeah, with condition that current wait, how about this? With the condition that the property owner is current on business licensing and commercial landlord licensing requirements.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
You should see some of the moving.
that's-
You should
So-
see some of the motions by planning commission.
All right, what she said, I'll move.
I'll second it.
And Mayor Garrett, and then. an
Somebody
alt-
write, is Corey taking notes?
Oh, yeah, and this is recorded.
Because
So,
they want, Susie wanted the address in there too.
All right, so our roll call vote, Mark Watts,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes,
Ann,
Yes,
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
Doug Price.
Yes.
Yes, for me, motion carries. So that leaves us with one additional item, which we've already sort of.
2 items. We have 2 items.
Oh, that's right, we added one. All right, so let's do the Juneteenth budget first. Can we do that?
Corey, take it away.
all right, sorry, I'm adding your votes from this previous one. As I said, it's my first time doing online and meeting notes. Okay, so for Juneteenth, I've attached a memo that lays out the budget, and I want to add that this is going above than what we'll probably actually need, but we wanted to make sure everything's accounted for. Like I've updates the microphone and speakers, all that system is actually $350. I received the quote from Jim Nelson. And then the plaques, it says panels, but it should say plaques to recognize diversity champions. That's an estimate. But the performers, that's all confirmed amounts for entertainment costs. So you'll see that total estimated cost is about $1,775. So that will cover equipment, performers, the plaques for the diversity champions. And that's pretty much what we need. We're actively working to get a grant through the Michigan Humanities Group. I don't think that's the correct title, but they have a grant for Larry Castleberry, and then we're also working on getting sponsorships. We have a sponsorship letter going out at several different levels, so individuals can donate, or if we can get some business sponsorships too. So we're working on also getting that funded, but there's a total estimated cost there at the bottom. Like I said, that's giving us some extra wiggle room with that. But if you have any questions, I can answer those as well.
I'm trying to bring it back up again. I can't find it.
Corey, what is this gonna come out of for our budget? Because we don't have like the farmer's market anymore, so that category, what category is this gonna come out of?
I believe Main Street, is that correct, Susie?
Is that right, Susie's? Yeah, just like a
Yes.
general,
Yeah, this will be Main Street.
okay.
So the estimated cost right now is $1,775.
Yeah, but that's most likely more than what it's actually going to cost, because we know the microphone and speakers is $350, but I counted for the total estimated as 500 because I
Sure.
didn't get the estimate till the end of the day yesterday.
Okay, so then me and my family would donate $500 to it.
Oh,
Thank you, Kelly. That's so generous of you.
wow.
Thank you. I don't want any issues about where this money came from. So I just, trust me, Cheryl knows what I'm talking about. So we will donate.
Thank you. We appreciate that very much.
yeah, that's awesome. So I would suggest we still approve the full amount that they're asking for, and then it'll be reduced, the actual expense will be reduced by
Right.
any such donation or grant that Corey's able to get to offset some of the other expenses. So I've been on board with this one since the beginning. I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to.
And we'll have a final, of course, we'll have a final report for you. Our board meeting's the day before, so we'll have our final report for how the Juneteenth event went in July.
So I would look for a motion to approve a total estimated cost budget of DDA expense of $1,775 for the Juneteenth event that will be held in conjunction with just after the art fair.
I'll be happy to do that, Dan.
Got a motion and a second?
Second,
I got Pam as a second, and then a roll call vote. Mark Watts,
Yes.
Cheryl,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes,
Pam,
yes.
Mayor Garrett,
Yes.
and Fred Prime.
Yes.
And so yes, so unanimous carry for the budget. Great job. And then we need to act on the logo piece that we did add as new business. So what do we need here, Susie? Just a vote?
A motion to go with, sorry, I ate a grape, I'm sorry. A motion to instruct Kitty Sharp to go with concept 2.
Okay, so after reviewing the 3 separate concepts, we're looking for a motion to match our consensus that option 2 or B, I forget how it was designated, the one in the middle, we will move forward, authorize moving forward with that.
I'll make the motion for it.
Mayor
I'll
Garrett,
second.
Bobby seconds, all in favor, Mark,
Yes.
and Pam,
Yes,
Bobby,
Yes,
Cheryl,
Yes.
Fred,
Yes.
Mayor Garrett.
Yes.
And myself, yes, so motion carried. So that leaves us, I think, through new business. So any public comment? Cory, Susie, any public out there that comments?
There's no public out here.
Any other comments from the team? All right, not hearing anything else, I will call for the adjourn of the meeting. Wish you all a wonderful weekend.